Extra clothing, no cotton, sheep, fleece, wool, blah, blah. I'll show you just, and so what I do is go to the junk stores, garage sales, and what have you, you get everything you need. This thermos, and that's out of the kid's lunchbox. This, I'll put it over here, I forgot. This wonderful stocking cap. You see all the holes in it? By the way, if you don't have sunglasses, if you have this down, you can peek through the little bitty holes. It's just like Eskimo snow goggles. And this pair of gloves, which I bought at an Army surplus store in Chicago to shovel sidewalks when I was a kid. They don't fit me anymore, that my hands got too big. But anyway, all of this stuff has been on the top of every peak in Oregon, from Mount Hood to Mount Thielsen. And that's really the only equipment you need. And I use the Boy Scout rucksack, the little rucksack that all the Boy Scouts use. So that's, now for your books. These are the books that I would recommend to anybody that's interested. The first is, and these are all in multiple editions, Mountaineering and Freedom of the Hills. And this is in the 18th edition, I think, now. By the same guy, Harvey Manning. He edited this. And he wrote this, Backpacking One Step at a Time. It's got, and it's still current. They're still printing that one as well. One the Sierra Club did years ago in the 1950s, Going Light with a Backpack and Barrel. It's a lot of good stuff for kid hiking in here. Even kid riding mules and stuff. And then a must for everybody is, of course, is Map and Compass by Jordan Kelstrom. And this is probably the 18th or 20th edition. It's all still in print. All the other ones, forget, because it's all about the survival stuff and building forts and crud like that. And then, of course, Colin Fletcher, The Complete Walker. This is his last one of his series of 4 books. This is basically so you don't have to go to the store to see all the equipment. Oh, there's my stove right there. And the reason I put that stove there was, this is the first stove I bought when I came out here. This is the Svea 123. And it is the only stove tested by all the companies when they test them. It's the only one that performed like it says it's supposed to. And this makes a little cup, so you can drink out of it and all that. The best test on this, in the book it talks about, one of these sat with the gasoline in it. It's a white gas stove for 11 years. And all you have to do is hold it like this, warm it up in your hands, and it'll light. I use a paste, makes it a lot easier. And if you're camping on snow, you take a piece of junk pipe wrap, and you cut a disc out so that you want to insulate it from the snow, otherwise it won't work. Okay, more goodies, more books. Oh, by the way, these packs, that's the Trapper Nelson, and it's covered in those books, by the way. And you don't need these fancy kitty carriers. What you do is just take the bag of clothes, the stuff sack full of clothes for the little kid that you got. You put it in the bottom of this, in the bottom, stick them in front. They sit on that bag of clothes, and they hang on to these, and they can look right over your shoulder and see where they're going. And if it starts to rain, you just pull the flap over and put the poncho over, and you're good to go. This, I brought this along because it's a good example of what not to do. And this is the highest development of metal pack frames. It works the same way as that, except this is all magnesium, and it's put together with epoxy. And they did that so there's no holes from the welds or anything, and you can put fuel inside the frame of your pack so you can fill your stove, which is a terrible way to do it. I use a whisper light now with the permanent attachment. The best stove, my oldest boy, he's gone now, but he was he backed me up on all these YMCA trips. And what he would do, he liked the big butane stoves because He could sit that, and then the tank, and then the stove on top of it, and he could sit on a log, and it was just the right height. He was a chef, too. So, anybody here into popular music at all? Oh, I'm serious. You ever heard of what's the best group to come out of Portland? One of the best groups to come out of Portland. Everclear. You ever heard of
Oh,
that?
yes.
He recorded their first album in his basement.
Oh, my goodness.
He was nominated for a Grammy. Well, anyway, he backstopped me all the time, and I just lost him last year. Anyway, where was I? Can't remember. That's what happens when you start thinking about the kid. Where was I on that?
Yeah, you're talking about fueling, and you don't do it that way because.
Oh, what I use now with the groups, I have a big cruiser pack from REI. It's the biggest one they make. There's nothing wrong with having a pack that's too big because you can always leave the stuff empty. This one is the biggest. When I bought this one, it was the biggest one, and they make it bigger because you need all the extra space for snowshoe camping. You need more clothes, more of everything. Okay, we did the stove. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, did you know that pack frames are 5,000 years old? This is the guy they found thawing out of a glacier in the Alps. And he had a pack with a wood frame almost like that, 5,000 years ago. Just a bag on a wood frame. If you're really William Douglas, Chief Justice, he came from Washington, you know, and he used what they call a horseshoe pack with a blanket. You just have everything rolled up in the blanket, all your cans of beans and everything else, and you tie it with a rope and you put it over one shoulder and that's it. So you don't need a pack even. It's a little bit messy when you unpack everything, but it works. Okay, what else we got in here? You know what those are for?
Scare bears away.
Bear bells. If you want to wear them, go ahead.
I was going to say right here.
This is what? A giant safety pin. This is a blanket pin. You can take a wool blanket and use these, and you turn it into a sleeping bag. And that's what, in the old days, that's before sleeping bags, that's what you did. And wool will keep you warm when it's wet, even. And that's the kind of plastic cup you want, so you don't burn your lip when you try to drink out of it. With all my 4 kids, you used to get butter and stuff like that in a plastic cup of different colors, so each had a different color. And then when we'd go hiking, and remember when Tang came in? Oh, some of you might be old enough. My daughter loved Tang. Of course, she'd love to get, when it hit the snow, then she'd fill her cup up with snow and I'd have to sprinkle Tang on it, and we'd use the spoon and fix it all up. Okay, let's see what else, anything else in here. Oh, you gotta have one of these. You know what that's for? That's the restroom.
Oh.
If you got your toilet paper and your hand sanitizer, and it's all in there, I'll open that up next one. As soon as you get done recording, I'll open that up so you guys get the treat on it. I do a lot of secondhand stuff, like I said. This is the kind of cooking pot you get from in a large camp set. The European ones come a lot smaller. I have a European one. I found that my stove will just fit in it, a little 1/4. So, but I have something better now than that. But I'm going to try to make the point that you don't need to buy this fancy equipment. You go to Goodwill and pick this stuff up. You ever heard of, in there, you talked about a pot lifter?
Oh.
Now with the mini tools and so on, this is the highest developed pot. This is a Swiss-made pot lifter. And what it does, it simply grabs a pot, like this lid. You've got it on a fire or on a stove, and then you can lock it down. You can pour it, and you do whatever, frying pan, whatever you want to do with it. This This, all I have left from my dad's World War II mess kit.
Wow.
The kids have gotten off with all the other parts of it, canteens and all that stuff, which nobody carries anymore anyway. Oh, here's one of the best flashlights. Here's the 2 flashlights I started with. They need batteries right now because I use them at home, okay? They're in these books too. You always have 2 flashlights because you can't change the bulb and the batteries in the dark. So you always carry 2. And these were very popular in the 60s. But the best one I ever, and they don't make it anymore. If you see one, pick it up. This is a little flashlight. Okay, very simple. It has a lanyard on it, and I'll talk about lanyards in a minute. You can do this, and it turns into a little lantern. So you can read with it in your sleeping bag. And if you don't want to waste light, you can do this. You slide this down. It has a reflector in it, so you get more light. And it has Morse code on the side if you want to signal with it. I wouldn't want to do that. And you can do this and hang it on your belt or on your hat, like a miner. Okay. But I don't know why they quit making these. I think it was probably one of the best little designs for a small flashlight ever was. And guess what's on the end of the lanyard? An extra bulb in that little plastic thing. So you always have one. Okay. Everybody had to have knives. You're not going to believe this. I have found more than 6 Swiss Army knives, very expensive items. The way it happens is this. People sit down with their knife on a log, and they do whatever they're doing. They cut their apple or do it. They lay their knife down. Of course, when they get up, it falls. There's 6 of them in here. Used to have 7. I gave one to my daughter when she went to Southeast Asia, and they took it off of her for the customs because it was a weapon. GI can opener, if you've ever seen one of those. This is a keychain knife. This is really all you need. It has a knife blade, a can opener, a screwdriver, and a file. These days, with all the tents have aluminum hoops on all the tents. When they break, you have to have a file to repair them, which I have done. Not with this one. I have one on one of my other ones. It's in there right now. But you can get anywhere. This is junk. Okay, how do you fix something like that? With this big pot, and you can't. When I was taking the YMCA kids, I knew that I have to do this all the time, and I thought, I can't do that every morning, So what I did was, you just take a little bit of wire, and then now you can just pour it with. It doesn't, it doesn't cost anything, but that's the stuff. That's what you got to do. Oh, and then don't throw away all this nice packing stuff. This is a cozy. If you want to keep the stuff in the pockets when it's hot, you put a cozy on it. And that, a 2 quart is all you need. That's good for 4 people, easy. With 2 people, you fill this up, lake water, whatever you get. When it comes to a boil, you make your coffee, you make your freeze-dried food, whatever you want. Anything that's left, you pour in your water bottle, and you're good to go. To give you an idea.
I have a question.
Yes, no questions.
No. Well, you talked about lake water. Can you boil any water?
Yes.
That would be safe?
Funny you should ask, because I looked that up. I knew people were going to ask that. I'm a Giardia carrier. I used to drink anything that moved. They talk about hoof prints with puddle and they drink out of it. No. Giardia dies at 147 degrees. Remember, you're trying to boil water at altitude. So the higher you go, the lower the temperature goes. Everything else dies at 170 degrees. So if it comes to a boil, you're good to go. By the way, the other stuff I added here, Sherpas, when you talk about that pack weight, 1/4 of the Sherpas in Nepal carry 125% of their own body weight. A lot of them carry more. The heavier loads are 175% of your body weight, so you can figure that out yourself. That's almost twice your body weight. The biggest pack I ever carried is when my two younger boys were small, and I'd want to go fishing too. And I wouldn't usually go more than 2 miles this way. But my pack would weigh 55 pounds. That would weigh 55 pounds because I had everything in there. And then I would carry a big military duffel with my rubber boat and any extra, diapers and all that kind of stuff. And I could go for a 1/4 mile and put the duffel down. That's the way you do it when you have little kids. Oh, here's another one. You've seen these, I don't know what these cost now. This is outdoor research. It's a Gore-Tex hat. And the problem is mosquitoes are probably the most dangerous animal we have. And this is what I made when I went to, my daughter now lives in Santa Fe. And I went down there to do some hiking some years ago, and I rigged this up. And what it is because you want to be able to keep the sun off of you, so you need a broader brim. And when you get in there, I've got head nets that come clear down over my shoulders, because then you can eat with the mosquito net on. You can't eat with a head net on. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much it. Ooh. This is my favorite, really. This is the UCO candle lantern. It's better than flashlights and all that other electronic stuff. And I say that because this has a little shade on it. It has a reflector, just like that other little light had. It burns for 9 hours, and there's an extra candle right there. So I got 18 hours of light. I can walk down. My second oldest boy used to put his ice axe in like this and hang the candle lantern on that, and it'd sit on the log, and he's good. He's got light to cook from and everything. Here's another coat. This is my cozy for my stainless steel pot, my wife's. I made it from an old towel. That's all you need. What's beautiful about it is you can use it for stuff when you spill it in the tent. You can wipe up. You can, whatever you want to do. But you need multi-use like that is what you need. Okay.
Thank you.
I got one more thing.
Oh, one more thing. Okay.
Hang on to that. You're going to rescue me, okay? So you've thrown this rope to me. And this, when you're down in the hole and they throw the rope down to you, what do? You grab the end like this. You make one loop like that.
Here, let's go over here.
Okay. That's all right. We'll do it over here. Okay, you make one loop like that. I forgot all about that. Anyway, you want to stretch it out like that first, then you make your loop. And this is a bowline. That's one of the 4 knots you need to know. A bowline. You come up, go down, bring up, and a single overhand knot here, and that will not tighten up on you. They'll lift you with that. Okay? Or if it's up like that and you're hanging, when you fall on the end of a rope, you carry in your pocket 2 pieces of cord like this. One in each pocket. You put that around. This is called a prusik knot. And it's you just loop it around twice. And what this does, you make it just the length of your leg so you can stand it. This becomes a stirrup. And then I slide the other one up, and I stand in that one, and I climb all the way up the rope. It's like going up a ladder. That's called a prusik knot. It's probably the most important mountain climbing knot there is, other than the bowline. That's all you need to know.
Now can we clap?
What's that?
Now can we clap?
No. Let's see, what else? Questions?
Yay.